battles unfold on the table, let's expanse. Miniature warriors in a strategic dance. 15 millimeters of intricate design. A world of conflict in a scaled down line. Terrain crafted with precision and care. Armies maneuver under watchful glare. Dice roll to decide the fate of the day. Strategies clash in a tactical display.
Hello again, everybody. This is Derek, and I'm coming back at you with another wargaming and miniature video. And in today's video, we're going to continue on with my Napoleonic project updates. And in this update, I just want to basically keep you apprised of where I'm at, what's going on in my Napoleonic project, how far along I've gotten, etc. And in today, I just wanted to show off, because I'm kind of proud of myself. These are all figures that I, over the last week or so, I rebased from previous basing techniques. I debased them, and then I cleaned up the fig a little bit, and then I rebased them on my new basing method for marshals and generals. And I've got the Hanoverians right there. I've got the Brunswickers right here. I've got a number of French battalions here. And then I've got the few British units that I needed to redo right there. And then I've got like a cab unit right here. So a lot of figures. You can kind of get the idea that there's a ton of figures on the table here. I had, I usually keep, when I'm working on figures, before they're completed, or if I sprinkle grass on them, or if I put texture on them, I'll put them in a box like this, and then I'll set it off to dry or something like that. And these are perfect for holding 4 of these battalions. And I had 8 of those boxes that I needed to do, and that's what you see out here. Okay, so now before we get started, I want to show my spreadsheet. There we go. I have a Quatre Bras unit by unit breakdown, and basically I have like let's say right here, the 2nd Light, the 3rd Battalion. It's going to be 4 bases worth of figures. Like the 61st is only 2 bases, and like hypothetically down here in this 1st Polish, it's going to be 6 bases, right? So basically each one of these is a base. And I color coded them, and I've just recently changed the color code to make it a little bit more stark, or a little bit more identifiable, where the French, I did blue for their finished, and then like the Dutch Belgians are the orange, the British and Hanoverians are the red, and then the Brunswickers are the dark gray. Now, if you see green, that means bagged. Okay, what that means in my context is I own those figures, and I have them in a bag somewhere. They're not painted, they're not based, they're not anything but just owned, right? Okay, well, this Jaeger unit and this seventh line, I uh, I put it kind of as a light green to remind me that I have those ordered. They're on the way. When they get here, I'm going to immediately bag them, right? So, um, yeah. So they're not really technically bagged. They are bagged, but they're bagged in the mail. I still have a couple. These yellow, that means that rebasing is required. I do have a few limbers, as you can see, that are still on the old method. I need to rebase them. Basically, I had them based on a 30 millimeter wide frontage, and I'm changing that to 40 so it'll match my cavalry and my infantry. So they're going to be rebased. I see a bunch of limbers there. Now, right here, I got these two limbers and these two limbers. I have the limbers and I have the horses and I have the riders, but again, they're bagged. They're not put together, painted, or anything like that. And that's where I stand. It looks. I've only got the Essex and the Cornwall to do for the Allies. I do have to do the. I say Allies when I mean the British. Um, and I have these 4 battalions to do for the Dutch Belgian 2nd Netherlands Division. The Brunswickers are all completely done except for these limbers. The guards are finished. Alton's division is finished except for limbers, and Picton's division is done except for two battalions. The French, I'm super close to finishing. Like all of Bachelot's division is 100% completely based properly. I'm going to go into that in just a second. Jerome, he only needs the first light. I have those figures. I just need to go ahead and paint them and get them put together. And Foy, completely done. So also Pyre, also done except for this artillery. So the 2nd Corps is almost completely finished. Kellerman, he only needs some dragoons done and the artillery. Lefevre needs almost the entire thing done. The Polish, the Lancers, and the Chasseurs. But that's it. Once I should be able to knock those out really quickly. I do have a commission that I'm going to be starting real quick. Some Prussian Landwehr, but that can be done while I'm painting these other units as well. So it can be done concurrently. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Okay. Now, I am very close to finishing this Quatre Bras loadout, right? Okay, so when I get that Quatre Bras loadout finished, I really need to push on finalizing my rules, you know? And I strongly believe that I'm going to get these rules done and playable, get Quatre Bras playable by March, April-ish, maybe June, somewhere in there. And so when I get those rules written, I'll let everyone know that the rules are ready to go. I'll probably even do a little Quatre Bras playtest um, on my table. But I'm starting to get the urge to and this is the ultimate goal is Waterloo. That's the ultimate goal. So I'm starting to get the urge to um, separate the tables in Waterloo in their separate battlefields so that I can start working on units that belong on each of those tables to save uh, to save uh, cost and also time. I'm thinking that I'm going to proxy French units and British units, Dutch Belgians, Nassau, whatever, uh, to units on each table. So a unit that belongs on the left table, let's say, could possibly be used on or as a unit in the right table uh, as a proxy. And so I'm going to um, take all my Quatre Bras figures, transfer them as proxies into the left and right and flank tables, and namely the French primarily, but also the British and and the Allies. Not the Prussians; they have pretty much their own table. But if so, what I'm saying is I'm going to proxy them over, and then I'm going to see what holes I have. I know there's a lot of cavalry that I don't have for the Allies. I know that, like mainly like the Scots Greys and the Life Guards and all these other cavalry. I think there's like 7 cavalry brigades or something. There's a ton of cavalry on the Allied side that is not used at Quatre Bras. So I'm going to have a lot of cav that I'm going to need to do. I know this, but I want to make sure that I've got, like on the left table, I'll take all the proxies, plug it in, and see where the holes are on either the French or the Allied side, uh, and then backfill those holes. So there's always going to be a little bit of figuring that I'm going to have to do. Same thing with the right table, and so I want to pretty much hash that out over the next month or so, where I'm going to make that dividing line for the left table and the right table. So I've got to. I'm thinking I'm going to have it the main road that goes straight up and down the um, the center of the battlefield. I think that's where I'm going to split the tables left and right. That comes pretty easy to do, but that center battlefield. Okay, there's Hougoumont on the left, right? But there's La Haye Saint right there in the middle. And if I split it down the road, then La Haye Saint is going to be the very right side of that table, with Hougoumont being in the 2/3 part of the table. So both of them will be on the same table, which I'm kind of okay with. And then the right table will not have La Haye Saint. It will have just the sand pit and the ridge line, but it'll also have Pavlahay on the right, right? Um, but I think I'm debating this. I think the sand pit and should be part of La Haye Saint, or La Haye Saint should be part of the right table. I'm just gonna, but it's kind of in the middle. Maybe it should be on both tables. I don't want that to be. I want these tables to be theoretically combined to make one big battlefield if that ever was a desire. I don't know how I'm going to work that. Plus the scale of my game, I've I've considered uh, treating these battalions as brigades when it comes to like a large battle. And if I do that, I can make my battlefield the entire thing. I don't know. I'll have to think about how I'm going to do the Waterloo thing. That's another. But I'm going to make sure I get the Quatre Bras finished. I'm going to make sure I get the rules written, and the whole Waterloo escapade is going to be slowly worked into it as we go. Okay, now I'm not going to do this on camera, but I just wanted to let you know that I got all these figures out on my table because I still need to put texture paste on it and I still need to put the flock on it. Um, and once I get that on there, then all my figures will be caught. I'll be basically caught up with basing. Well, except for the limbers, but I'm going to do the limbers all at one time later on. Now I have 5 colors of mud. I've got the brown mud, I got European mud, I got brown earth, then I got the ammo dark mud, and I have the micro mark brown earth. So I've got 5 different colors of mud. And as I go through these battalions, what my goal is to do like this is one regiment of 4 battalions. I was thinking I would do 4 different colors of mud on these, right? Same thing with the like the 61st and the 100th. I was going to do 4 different colors of mud. This is 2 regiments of 2 battalions each. Again, I could do 4 different colors of mud. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I want each battalion in a regiment to have a slightly different hue on the mud. It'll just make it easier for me to, or the player, whoever's using it, to identify which. It's just one additional uh, color coding that would help identify which battalions each base goes to. Um, but it's not a requirement. And once I put the grass on there, it hides most of the mud anyway. So the whole mud thing is um, just a very subtle ground feature. Plus, I already have like units written on the bottom, like 2nd Battalion of the 2nd Light. All right, so let me go ahead and start mudding these guys. I'll probably, this might take me a day or so, but I'm going to do my best to get everything mudded. And then probably tomorrow I will uh, get to the flocking of the grass, and then I can put these guys in their trays, which I'm because these bases are a lot bigger than the bases that I was using in the past. Um, I might need to reorganize my trays. When I go to organize my trays, what I think I'll do is I'll show you that as well when I do that. All right, guys. Um, I want to say happy Thanksgiving. I know I'm recording this the day before Thanksgiving, but by the time I edit this and upload it, it'll probably already be Thanksgiving. So I hope you guys are all having a good Thanksgiving if you're American. If you're not American and watching this, well, have a happy Thanksgiving anyway. Um, everyone can have a happy Thanksgiving. All right, guys, take care, and I will see you in the next one.